Now a Category 2 hurricane that is now beginning to make its way into Louisiana. Will most likely be making landfall very shortly. So the winds have gone up. We've noticed the pressure steadily falling throughout the day. And do notice the track, the orange line that you see here. That is the track that the storm has been taking over the last 24 hours. And note the forecast track for it to continue moving goes into southeastern Louisiana. It has what appears to look like it's trying to stay on the right side of the cone. So again, if it stays more on that right side of the cone, we could see more impacts. The other thing to note is this is a very large eye. So that means those winds are spread out over a large area. So maybe hurricane force wind gusts spreading over into the New Orleans metro possible, and those strong winds carrying over into Hancock County after about 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. Looking at the radar, again, lots of rain bands spiraling into the coast. We do have a tornado watch in effect. Anytime you have a landfalling tropical system to our west and those rain bands try to make their way on in, you can get those quick spin up tornadoes. So again, we want you to stay weather aware. Basically between now and about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, our conditions are going to go downhill as we see Francine continue to lift off towards the northeast. Faster now at 17 miles per hour. So it has steadily picked up speed. And by Thursday morning, so after midnight, the center of Francine, somewhere across southeastern Louisiana, it could be right on the border of South Mississippi or maybe St. Tammany Parish and Pearl River County potentially as we go throughout the overnight hours. Now, over the last several days, our forecast models have kind of trended on the east side of the forecast cone. Because this storm is getting sheared and most of the impacts are on the right side, looking at futurecasts, this is fairly reasonable as we head into the evening hours as it continues to strike or pass through southeastern Louisiana. We will see those rain bands rolling through, but look how fast, perhaps by 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe the rain begins to wrap up across the area. But on the backside, we will still be very breezy, very windy, even though the backside may be drier, some of that dry air trying to wrap around the back end of Francine. So what can we expect as far as winds here in South Mississippi overnight tonight? Winds really starting to pick up after about 7 o'clock this evening, and it's not out of the question that some of those rain bands may produce winds over 60 miles per hour in those isolated gusts. So there could potentially be some power outages overnight. Of course, the strong onshore flow will create storm surge along the coast as well. The good news, we're not seeing high tide coming in until early tomorrow morning, mainly between 4 and 6 o'clock. But wind gusts across South Mississippi at least over 50 miles per hour at times. There have been some model guidance that wants to take some wind gusts a little bit higher than that, perhaps over 70 miles per hour at times. So again, we just want you to stay weather aware over the next several hours as things are expected to go downhill gradually as the center of Francine begins to make its way further inland. As far as storm surge potential, 4 to 6, and I do know we're getting new numbers in at the moment, so these may get updated. But as of right now, 4 to 6 feet across Hancock and Harrison County. Over into Jackson County, 3 to 5 feet. Again, high tide is tomorrow morning between 4 to 6. Rainfall, again, lots of heavy rain could lead to flash flooding. Putting the timing on this and looking at futurecasts, and again, futurecasts a little biased on the east side of that forecast cone. Notice as we go throughout the next 2 hours, after about 7 o'clock, we start to see things go downhill across South Mississippi. We're going to have much more. We're doing team coverage. The weather team is here. Meteorologist Taylor Graham is going to have much more coming up at the bottom of the hour, but let's head back over to the news desk.